stuck.
Eternally, maybe that's what our heaven will be like. If that's what we want, if that's the way we feel.
No. Heaven's going to be.
I kind of want late 70s, early 80s.
Listen to those people.
I ran. So fun.
Flock of seagulls.
I'm telling you.
I'm hoping heaven is like a mall, and then there's like an Orange Julius in the freaking, food court. There's
a one-on-one interview forever with Hillary Clinton.
Your heaven is a one-on-one.
No, it's not. But that'll be what? Somebody else's idea.
Somebody else's
idea of what's heaven for me, and that's what they pick.
Listen, I have always agreed with that idea people have of buying old malls, rehabbing them into Gen X nursing homes. I would fucking beg my kids to send me there.
I would buy one and just put it into my home.
I would beg my kids to send it. Be like, that would be so expensive, though. That would be for rich people. But that's what Democrats do.
That's just what politicians do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat, it's a Democrat and Republican.
But when you see things like that, that's the kind of crap they do. See, it's just all, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Not the political environment we're in. But we're going to talk about 13 freaking families that started it.
Well, this.
That's exactly fucking right.
Yeah,
that's exactly. We stay on the same books. But that's where we are, and and that comes back to this 13 family thing we're going to talk about tonight. Everybody has so many fingers and so many pies. It's created this ruling web.
It's all to keep us poor, so that we keep our heads down and do the work.
That's exactly right.
They keep us poor. And they split us apart with the Democrat and Republican thing.
And
so
the
we're
black and white and yellow and because of Christians and pagans. I mean, there's so many divisive things.
Job status, they do it with everything.
Right. Yeah. And I think
those sons of
as we go later on into this subject, we touch on this status theory or how that dynamic was created and the purpose of it.
Well,
it's freaking deep.
It's just another type of caste system. We just don't call it that. It's not outright.
Right.
Where and I search for it because I read a lot of history and I look into a lot of things. But the point I'm looking for right now is the point where all of a sudden we became scared.
Well,
when did that happen? And I think that happened way back here.
I think it
origins.
I think it mostly happened recently.
Jekyll Island, Woodrow Wilson, 1913.
See, but your modern day, I think it happened way before that.
Well, there's a theory that the pyramids were used as
I think it had to happen over time, but it happened. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's a theory I read where the pyramids were used as some sort of a destination where they, like when the world population was still small, they sent as many people through the pyramids as they could because it reset their memory. And when they came out, they told them a false history and they ran with it.
Before.
Yeah.
I have heard that before. Let's get into it. Season 3, episode 1, season 3.
Season 3.
3.
We've done this for 3
I swear to God, I'm going to be transparent. Swear to whatever God pleases you.
Keep your clothes on.
Me too.
Listen, you want revenue or not?
Can't see.
Go ahead. I'm just being a jackass.
You're going to make me forget what I'm going to say.
Well, you shouldn't have did that one hit.
We are on now.
Well, you took one for posterity, and now we're posterized.
You can't talk about that. We'll get canceled.
We're being taped. It can be edited.
I forgot what I was going to say. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom, for derailing the train that runs in my head smoothly most of the time.
You were something about the.
Oh, no. I was being transparent, and I was going to say I honestly thought this would go on for like a month.
What?
This podcast.
Oh,
When you and I were on the phone that day talking about it, I was like, it'll probably last. It'll go on for a month.
I think I was in the hospital at that time.
Were you in the hospital? I didn't.
It was
here we
St.
are.
Patty's Day.
I don't know. I don't mind talking to you guys. One of these days, maybe I'll have some valuable input.
Everyone's input is valuable.
Oh, sure. Just some people's is,
let's talk about it.
Here we go. Oh, great.
So I will go ahead and announce the topic for probably the next few episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, minutes, episodes.
It's big. It's a big topic.
Big. And let me tell you, it's a big topic and it is extremely relevant. And I think everyone needs to become familiar with it. And that is the 13 family lore. Now, if you haven't heard of the 13 family lore, there is a conspiracy theory, we'll call it that this world, okay, is ran by 13 families. Originally 13 families. And let me give you the list of those families while I've got it in front of me, maybe. Oh, here we go. Okay, ready? Here are the 13 families.
This is where you get the video deleted.
This is where everything gets weird. But we have the Rothschilds, we have the Rockefellers, we have the Morgans, we have the DuPont, we have the Astors, we have the Kennedys, we have the Onassis, the Lees. Oh, yes, the Van Duins, Duyn, Van Dun, Van Duins, whatever that is. Yeah. Which
Uns Deutschland.
We'll get into how that's relevant that you say that, because that matters. That's going to end up mattering.
Does. I know.
The Bundys.
Al
Bundy was very,
right?
very.
That was my first thought.
Love and marriage.
He was very influential during the 80s.
The Collinses, the Reynoldses, and the Freemans. These are the 13 families.
I feel like I should have a hat on top of my head for the Reynoldses.
For the what? The Reynoldses?
Yeah.
So anyway, these 13 families are then split up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bloodlines. And those bloodlines, okay, are the Atlantean survivors. That's the Astors and the DuPonts.
We've talked about those.
The Anunnaki hybrids. That's your Rothschilds and Rockefellers.
Yep.
The reptilian lineage, which is the Morgans and the Van Duins. The Nephilim bloodline, which is the Collinses and the Bundys. The dragon families of China, which is the Lees. The mystery school initiates, which I found interesting as well, which is the Kennedy and the Onassis. And the old European nobility, which is the Reynoldses and the Freeman. So this episode, let's talk about these families. So Tom, or anybody, JC, let's start out with the Astors and the DuPonts. What do you know about them?
I know that they make tape.
Don't they make
and paint?
They make all the chemicals that they dump in the river all the time.
Yeah.
Which is another way they beat us down and keep us stupid.
And I don't even know the Astors. What do you know about the Astors?
The Astors, they were Victorian age.
Yeah. American
if I remember
aristocracy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, aristocracy. Going back to the DuPonts, I mean, they had a car NASCAR.
The DuPonts and the Astors are same bloodline. Those are the Atlantean survivors.
Yeah, honestly, there's only 2 families that I really concern myself with. The rest of them are lesser, but still bad.
Oh no, they're all relevant. Each one is as relevant as the other.
Yeah, but the thing
the
is, the Rothschilds.
I really concern myself with is the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers.
I have a whole theory about the Rothschilds, but this is a whole thing. It's beyond just those 2 families. And those 2 families, you are going to come to learn, are nothing but the fall guys for the other 11.
Yeah. Well,
I'm here to tell you, they're nothing but going to
ties into like the Freemasons and the Illuminati and the World Economic Forum and the Bilderberg Group.
We're gonna get onto that. We're gonna get onto that. We have to have a structured episode, people.
Structure. The people who shoot from the hip. Structure.
She's the instructor.
See, the instructor to the structure.
That's right. Of the infrastructure.
The infrastructure. With those 13 families, though, the thing is, the ones that, I mean, I tried to find information. I can't. I mean, Astor, I kind of read some stuff about the Astors.
The reason,
I don't know where you look for your stuff, but where I look, not much.
The reason it's hard to find is because they don't want you to know and they have the money to.
And I guess I've been doing this a long time, so I know where to go.
And the only stuff that they really leave out is the crazy stuff, so that they can just say, "Oh, that's crazy."
Okay. Well, real quickly, let's introduce, because it matters. Okay, it's not just 2 families.
Okay. Oh, I know.
The Astors and the DuPonts are from the Atlantean bloodline. Okay, the Astors, and you were exactly right. They were early American aristocracy with massive real estate power, land. Okay, which in the beginning held a lot more weight than it holds a lot of weight nowadays.
It still holds the weight nowadays, but back then in the Victorian age, that's the Old West. And with the Old West coming up there, there's a lot of land out there. So you just have to grab a bunch of land. You got land, you got money.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it used to be that only landowners could vote.
Right. Exactly. Landowners got special privileges. DuPonts, as we know, built the chemical empire and known for alchemy, study of alchemy, which totally checks with being an Atlantean survivor.
Yeah, because they're supposed to add that orichalcum or whatever in Atlantis.
Yep. The Astor family is still wealthy today, but they're nowhere near as influential as they were back in the 1800s, and I think that's on purpose. Okay, they're just mostly private investors and descendants living like all the other billionaires. They're the little name on the financial statement you get from your financial guy if you have money.
Oh yeah,
you know, your JP Morgan, where your money is.
The monopoly guy.
Anyway, the DuPonts, they still own DuPont. Which is rare.
Yeah.
Rare. Okay, that is rare. Even though now it's a modern company, it's still connected to the family, which is rare nowadays. And so now we're into the Anunnaki hybrids. Okay.
Which were the
Rothschilds and the Rockefellers.
Rothschilds and the Rockefellers.
That's why. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Rothschilds, they have, for every war that's happened on this planet, not just for a country, not just for an area, the friggin' planet, they have funded both sides of it. And that should be a red flag to every person on the planet. But, people are like, well, they don't, I think they just don't understand.
Well,
I know.
Well, there's a theory that goes back to when Marduk was in charge of Egypt as Ra. That when he left and Egypt was under Amun-Ra, absence of Ra, that he appointed the Rockefellers to be the family that took over the Pharaoh line, and it's kind of a play on Egyptian words apparently, where Ra-Kam means Ra, children of Ra or Shield of Ra, and pharaohs. So it's like Ra-Com Pharaoh, and then they decided to go with Rockefeller sometime later. And then the Rothschilds are supposed to be Ra shields, and that's why it means in German red shield, Ra-Com, and or what was I saying? Rothschild. So instead of just saying Ra-Com, they just say Ra shields, Rothschilds.
Well, and that makes total sense because part of the lore is
they protect.
It's not that they're Anunnaki, but they're hybrids.
Yeah,
they were made to do what they're doing.
Yeah,
so they're like the Giggies.
Is nothing but a branch off another freaking rabbit hole, but we won't go there.
They're still following the instructions that Marduk left them when he left.
They're basically the Giggies. Isn't that the one that Enlil's had made? Who are just basically their job was just to do what Enlil says.
Yeah.
Well, made
Marduk didn't like Enlil. They're not the same as the ones that followed Enlil. They're more like followed Enki.
Right. Well, Enki is the ones gave us freedom of thought. We could, freedom of free will.
And Marduk was Enki's son. That's why he didn't like Enlil.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just saying, I'm just going to get more clarification of these people that we're talking about.
And see, they've always been secretive.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I always point out, that
it's not that they aren't anymore, but the light seems to be shining on them more than normal.
That's because everybody's interested in that sort of thing since they found out about the lists and stuff that go on. So now they're all looking into all these things. But they've always kept their names out of circulation as much as possible because, and I always point this out, Forbes does their top 100 billionaires, richest people in the world, every year. You never see any of these people on that list, and they're all richer than everyone.
They're else. They run the world.
They own all the money. They literally own all the banks. They own all some of these people own Elon Musk's money. They own it.
Yeah.
It's their money.
George Carlin said it perfectly. Because it's a group and, it's a big party and you're not invited and you're not in it. They're the owners. They own you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Politicians are just there to give you the false interpretation
what happens when
that you have a choice and a voice and you don't.
That's what I'm saying though. And that's what we see happening because now there's so many of us.
Well, the voting's so stupid. It never goes. Nobody's ever going to agree that any vote was fair anymore. It's not going to.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen at all anymore. Nobody's going to believe from either side that any vote was fair.
Right.
So okay. Reptilian lineage.
Oh
yeah.
That's the Morgans and the Van Duins. Duyn. Duin. I don't know.
These are the Seraphim people.
Shape-shifting elites, hidden controllers. These are also old banking families.
Yep. J.P. Morgan. Here's the thing. J.P. Morgan and the Rothschilds both it was more the Rockefellers than the Rothschilds, but I'm sure the money came in through the Rothschilds some form of way. But during who's the president? Would have been the president. Possibly Taft. It might have been Taft. I don't think it would have been Theodore Roosevelt. I think it's more Taft. It was before Woodrow Wilson became president. But you get to a point where the country's just out of money. And so they get a loan through J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers, because the Rockefellers at that time was hitting oil. You had Standard Oil, because you had Ford bringing out the Model T, the Model A, and producing the assembly line for these engines. You need oil. Well, guess what? Well, here's Rockefeller, Standard Oil Company, and on top of that,
it's funny how Ford also invented the assembly line.
Yeah,
how can we get more people to work?
And then on top of that, basically, Rockefeller making the oil. Making the from the crude, getting the refined oil, he had stuff left over called gasoline. And guess what? The engines that were first in those Model Ts and Model A's were diesel. So basically, he had
some of them ran on corn whiskey.
Well, that's basically where it's close to diesel fuel because it's like close to kerosene.
Yeah.
Because you can run like a diesel engine. You could probably pour a fifth of Jack Daniels in the gas tank and run it.
Oh yeah, you run cars off moonshine.
Yeah, I know. There was a MythBusters where they took oil used in the fryer at McDonald's. They they ran a car on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying,
It don't run very good. But
no, it didn't run very good, but it ran.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, and it just takes someone to tweak the engine to make it run better. Then then you've got to
do whatever.
You've got this thing that you can sell on the market, and people fight over it.
But no, you died the next day.
Oh, that was the water guy.
That was the water guy. Because water's in the ocean. You don't need to refine water.
He made a carburetor that ran water through the motor, and it worked great. And he drove it around on video. You can see him filling it up and everything.
And they poisoned him.
And within what months, I think he was gone.
Yeah.
His work was gone.
Yeah, he basically was telling us, he was talking to his brother, relatives of some sort, saying they poisoned me, and just a few moments later, he was dead.
Damn.
Telling you, it's almost scary doing this podcast.
How do people even? Oh, we're so small potatoes. Nobody gives a shit about us. Now, if we had a big following, you can guarantee you. And let me tell you something: there are big podcasters that have been threatened. Yeah. Have disappeared, have all the things. These ones that have 500,000 and up following. Yeah. You catch an eye when you're that big. We are catching no eyes.
No one loves us.
No one loves us. But that's okay. Subscribe. That's okay, because that means I can say whatever I want.
You better check who's subscribed. It might be the Rockefellers now.
It'll be like, what the hell?
Anyway, so today, the Morgans.
Yep.
They do exist, but there are no major public, totally in the shadows. And they no longer have any connection to their financial empire, to their banks.
That you know of.
Right. Officially.
Because, I mean, isn't Citibank through JP Morgan?
Well, no. JP Morgan exists. That doesn't mean it's connected to the family.
Yeah.
Okay. But
I'm sure we're getting a cut.
This matters. The words I'm about to say matter.
Okay.
The bank is now a corporate institution.
Okay. You can buy stock.
Not the family empire.
Right.
Okay. But all that means is there's 100,000 fingers in that pie.
Yeah. Well, there's enough room for them.
Not just the family.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, that's where they are today. The Nephilim bloodlines. Now, firstly, let me be clear on what the Nephilim are. What are the Nephilim?
The Nephilim are basically they're the ones who basically, when the angels had sex with the daughters of men, made these giants. That's why we had the great flood.
They are giants. Okay.
Yeah, they're hybrids from Anunnaki, like the Rockefellers.
So, do they think all these bodies that are buried underneath all of these army engineered lakes, the Ozarks and everything, those giant bodies, are those Nephilim?
Yeah. They fit all the descriptions of them. They're giant, red hair. They got allegedly 2 rows of teeth, 6 fingers, 6 toes.
Okay. So this is the Nephilim bloodline, and this is the Collinses and the Bundys.
Well, Al Bundy did score 4 touchdowns in the.
Yes, he did. Polk High for the win.
Polk High.
Okay, so here we go. The Nephilim myth from the Book of Enoch.
That's a very
giants, hybrid beings, forbidden unions, secret knowledge. Springmeyer must be an author. Springmeyer connected the Collinses and the Bundy families because they're American families with political or occult lore about them. They're well known. Okay, that's where I knew that name. The Collinses were tied to witchcraft in New England, and the Bundys were tied to politics
and shoes.
And Ted Bundy,
women's shoes.
Al Bundy,
Ted Bundy too.
Well, yeah,
he was very influential in the 70s.
So yeah, the Collins is a common surname, and Bundy, the political Bundys are unrelated to the criminal Bundy.
I'd say that too.
Criminal? Where did that come from?
Yeah, prove it.
What? So today, Collins is a common surname, and nothing. In other words, there was nothing to be found on Collins and Bundy.
Right. Because they had people go in there and clean up their situations where you can't find nothing.
Yeah, none of those families leave information out. They pay to get rid of it.
That's interesting. Okay. Dragon families of China. The Li, L-I. The Li, right?
Yeah. Li.
I found this one fascinating as heck. The Li family is the eastern branch of the global
Far East
bloodline. So this alludes to them being the first.
What, the first family or?
The first bloodline.
Well,
I didn't see that coming.
It wouldn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me.
But it doesn't surprise me, and especially if you have any historical interest and look at things like I do and have looked at things from Asia, historically ancient, specifically metaphysically. What the hell was that?
What was it?
Am I the only one that heard that?
What, the green?
Yeah.
That's Ian.
It's the Lee family. They're the ones who subscribe.
No, it's Ian. He's over on the couch. He's making noise.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I thought you had like Peter Frampton in the back doing some of that mouth.
No.
Do you feel like I do? Anyway.
Nope, not. If that guy's back there, I don't know about it.
I digress. Anyway, today, where are they today? Lee is one of the most common surnames in the world. Of course.
Well, there's a lot of people in China, so.
There is no single unified. In other words, here's another one where we don't know nothing about it.
Right.
So that's interesting.
And you won't find out anything about it.
The Nephilim and the Lees.
Well, here's the thing.
Information.
You go into China and you look at the first emperor of China, and he came down out of the sky on a dragon. That's why the dragon's associated with China.
Right. Right.
So, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it might be aliens. I need Giorgio Tsoukalos here.
It just kills me that everywhere on the planet says people once came out of the sky and taught them stuff. And then everybody's like, oh, that's so stupid to think they meant aliens.
And only everyone says it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's like people are just so.
Like every single culture says that. And then everybody's like, you're so stupid if you believe that.
Yeah. It's crazy how blind people are. This is one that's interested me. The what's the Mystery School Initiates?
It's like Mystery Science Theater, but different.
Like Hogwarts for Americans or some shit. Okay, so these are initiated bloodlines. So I don't know what that means. The Kennedys and the Onassi.
It probably has something to do with, I would guess, just from the wording of it, it has to do with the Masons or the Illuminati.
Well,
we might get to that.
To me, it's kind of weird that we have this initiated bloodline being Kennedy and Onassis. Jacqueline Kennedy married to JFK.
Yeah.
JFK assassinated.
Yeah, and
Jacqueline Kennedy married a Greek. They're from Greece. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis.
Let me back you up, though, to the JFK assassination. Did you see recently the undisclosed documents that were released on that?
No, I have not.
Yeah. They forced those out, and he was totally assassinated by us, by the CIA.
Oh,
and do you know why? Why?
Because he was trying to
talk about all this shit.
He was trying to break the United States.
Yeah, he's trying to break it down.
Money again, rather than getting it from the Federal Reserve, which is
was also about to talk about
by the Rothschilds,
which would have took away their influence.
He was gonna flip the table.
And they said, "Hey, we're gonna have you land in Dallas for a little bit. There's a holdover. Why don't you go take a drive around town?
Wave at the public.
Oh, he died."
Yeah. But people don't see that. They don't have time for that. They have Netflix to watch.
That's right.
Netflix to watch.
Anyway, back to the initiated bloodlines. But I want to learn more about that. I'm going to have to do more research on what does that mean? Initiated from what? From whom?
Well, I mean, the Kennedys have been in American politics for a long time.
Well, I suspect it could be the first family we spoke about, the Atlantean people, the Astors and the DuPonts. And here is why I say that. 2 reasons. DuPonts, aren't they? They're American.
Yeah.
They're American. Right. And the Astors are American. Those are Americans.
Okay.
I
thought the Astors were over in Europe.
American aristocracy.
Okay. No problem.
Okay.
I believe you.
Back in the Victorian time.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so there's my first reason. Because Kennedy's neo-Nazi are American figures. Okay. I think that's the bloodline they're initiated from. It's my theory.
So
and
they're
I'm going to research from the Atlantean bloodline.
It sounds to me like they were brought into some type
of... here's the other reason. The reason, too, is their connections to Europe and the Mediterranean.
Which is where the Onassis are from, is Greece.
It backs up the Atlantean bloodline.
You know, it almost
and
makes
why they would be accepted so graciously into that. I mean, to initiate into a bloodline, that's no joke. There are traditions that do that today. Traditions I can't speak about. You know what I mean? It's a real freaking thing. It's for real. Yeah. So the fact that this happened, that's why I think it's them. Just saying. They were allegedly guardians. The Kennedys and the Onassis were guardians of esoteric knowledge. Known for it. I knew that. Initiates of ancient rites.
Oh my God.
What the hell did you just say?
Oh my God. And of course, today we know the Kennedys, hell, they're still playing the game.
Yeah.
And the Onassis.
The Onassis are probably doing it's what's going on in Greece. You know, I bet you anything they're
mostly private, but you know what? Yeah. They are direct descendants from the Aristotle Onassis line.
Aristotle was Greek last time I checked.
Interesting. So here's another one that's interesting too, and I think it's the last one. Yep, it is. The old European nobility. And I would like to do some more research about where the current royal family fits into this bloodline.
The current royal family bloodline, they're Windsor, and before they changed their name to Windsor,
right?
It was Saxon.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it wasn't Reynolds or Freeman.
Right, but the thing is they're from Germany. believe it or not.
Oh yeah, they are. You're right.
They're from Germany. The Habsburg. I think
They're reptilians.
They off the Habsburg. I mean, at one time, you look at the bloodlines of the English, the kings, the English monarchs.
Mm-hmm.
They start off there Anglo-Saxon. Then there was a time there where the Vikings came in there. You had the Danelaw going on, and then they kicked the Vikings out. And then William the Conqueror or William the Bastard, however you want to look at it, came across the English Channel, defeated Harold Godwinson, who was at the time the king of England, and beat him and took over England. So you had the Normans, the House of Normandy, and then
but we're going back so much further, and that's another thing. More and more, our timeline keeps getting pushed back by science.
Right. Well, the thing is, though, with the English, the thing about the English monarch that would probably be involved in something like this, you might want to look at the Plantagenet. The Plantagenets, basically, this is like Edward the Longshanks, which you saw in Braveheart.
Mm-hmm.
Edward II, his son, he died pretty bad. And Edward III, who started the 100 Years' War, and then
I think we would find all those in the family tree.
Yeah, I mean, seriously,
I really do,
because the Plantagenets had a lot of land over in France.
Right. So this Reynolds and Freeman, that was the two original bloodlines. Okay, that were considered the old European nobility. They were considered the old guard, or the aristocratic power.
Right.
Okay. They were all wealthy landowners, old money. It's like you couldn't even find where they came. And these two then made up the 13 families. Today, Reynolds, tobacco, directly related to the Reynolds family, tobacco fortune.
North Carolina.
Descendants still exist, but are not global power players. Freemans, you can't find shit on. So Reynolds, kind of out there, but not very much. You can't find much on him. Freemans, you can't find anything on.
I tried to get a job up there in North Carolina when I was living with Dad up there in Winston-Salem. There was a place that would make the red ink in Marlboro.
Oh, yeah.
The R.J. Reynolds company. It was part of the R.J. Reynolds company. I couldn't get the job there. Actually, I think I shot myself in the foot because they had these little bitty signs in these parking spots that had people's name on there. I guess people who owned the company. I parked in one, and as I was backing out, the guy saw me. He goes, that's my parking spot. I'm like, because that's my name on that thing. I'm like, oh, well, good for you.
Too bad I couldn't read it till I got out of the car.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm leaving so you could have it. So sorry. And I didn't get a job there. So.
Well. Oh, well.
They probably had enough of your hijinks after that, Tom.
That's right.
So I'll tell you, as far as the American families go, those all check.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting how they all tie in together, and they tie into the past, and they tie into all the groups today. And
well, the groups today come from this. Yeah. And it ties into the whole concept that it's not the secret government, but that there's powers above the government.
And there's another name for these 13 families.
What?
The Illuminati.
Well, yeah.
So,
Do you think that's the 13 families?
Well, it goes into the Illuminati and the Masons, and which those things go into like Bohemian Grove, which goes into Epstein,
right?
And Bilderberg Group and everything else, and it's like it's all. If you look, you see a lot of the same people in all of these things.
Let's ask.
Are you asking? Well, you don't listen. You don't do chat anymore, do you?
Don't trust it. Don't
Every
trust
time I try to look
chat.
something
Don't
up,
trust. Huh?
every time I try to look up the 13 families, through Chat GPT, they kept pushing me towards the Masons and the Templars.
Yeah.
I
They
was
push
like,
you. It is so filtered and so it guides you.
Well, Chat GPT is like the version 1, and it's kind of faulty.
What is the other one? Rosicrucians, but that's a religious thing. But I'm going to ask. I'm even going to say the old EP files today.
are the Sinclairs?
The donuts?
No,
Oh, those are eclairs.
those are Eclairs.
Donuts.
Let's see what.
Donuts.
Let's see. Okay, so
Macaroni.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7 family. No, not the Lees. There are 7 families of the 13 that are connected to the Illuminatis. Okay, the Rothschilds. They're the financiers of the Illuminati.
Probably
Makes
Rockefellers.
sense. Makes sense. Rockefellers. They are the industrial arm of the
Morgans.
Illuminati. The Morgans, that's the banking and the infrastructure of the Illuminati. DuPont, science and technology. Astor, old world aristocracy, so networking.
Wait, Tom, isn't this weird how it sounds like that list of corporations I made up for my comic book world?
Yeah.
And the Kennedy and the Onassis are their political, their, what would you call that? Lobbyists. There you go.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Lobbyists. That would be the most appropriate word for that position.
And if you think about it, if they don't want to be connected to the government, but yet try to have some sort of control on the outside, because honestly, I feel a lot of times with the 13 families, politicians are the fall guy. That's all the politicians there. They're there. So if something bad happens.
Now the Rosicrucians did come up.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because in order to control, you have to have your fingers in the religion. Just like the Rothschilds run the Vatican, they own it.
Right.
And Epstein was working for them and staying in the Vatican for, I think, a few months.
Yeah. I would not doubt that at all. But okay, so the 5 families that are tied to the Rosicrucians are the DuPonts, which makes sense.
Catholics.
DuPonts, the Astors, the Kennedys, and the Onassis, and the Collinses. And they are the keepers of the ancient wisdom. They're the keepers of the secrets, the sacred geometry, the Hermetic teachings, the Atlantean knowledge.
Which makes sense.
And the star ancestor lore.
Is owned by the Rothschilds. They have all this because that's where the chronovision, chronovisor is. That's, there's a lot of stuff.
It explains the way that last Pope acted, too. He was doing all the talking.
And we did a thing about that,
The Freemasons came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Because of
the Freemasons have 1, 2, 3, 4 families connected to them. The Morgans, the Rockefellers, and the Reynolds and the Freemans.
Yeah.
You know what? And we're related to 3 people, probably more, that are part of the Masons.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa, Dad,
most people are. They got relatives in there.
But they were part of the Masons that is the cover for what the Masons really are. Does that make sense? How do I explain that? They're like
they're the fall guys for the fall guys.
To rebuild civilization.
They were out doing the fraternal order of the Masons, elk club bullshit, so that everyone would think that's what it was.
They're the fall guys for the fall guys.
Yeah. Well, the Freemasons, like their end goal is to be sticking around at the end of the world so they can rebuild civilization the way they want, which would fall in line with all these other families.
Which would make sense that the Illuminati.
The Freemasons are often portrayed as the public-facing layer.
Yeah.
Of the deeper order that does exist.
Right.
Well, everybody said the Bilderberg group didn't exist for a long time, and then Alex Jones busted them out on TV.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so and the list goes freaking on. I didn't even ask about these, and it's given me all these other ones. The Order of the Golden Dawn, and I've heard of the Order of the Golden Dawn.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, it's like a mystery school.
They're all
spiritualist school. It's an actual legit place. I mean, it's like cost thousands of dollars to freaking go there. All that stuff.
Here's the thing: do they mention the Eastern Star?
No, but that's a branch off the Masons.
I know.
Yeah, you got to give the women something to do.
But see, there's so many of these groups that are also interconnected like that. It looks like it's the same thing the government does, where it's decompartmentalized. So you have all these people working toward the same goal, but
it's clutter. You can't see what's underneath the clutter.
Well, yeah, but in the group, they don't realize that there's a bigger picture. They just know what they're doing.
Yeah,
connect with the other ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And the funny thing is, JC, when we were in high school, maybe just right out of high school there.
You made it to high school?
I graduated with my 2.14 GPA.
That makes two of us.
But anyways, what I was saying is, because Grandma was part of the Eastern Star.
Yeah.
I was too.
You were too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
I attended a few rituals.
I was kind of hoping that I could go to the Masons, but didn't happen.
They didn't have like a kid thing for them.
But I know, I mean, after I became an adult, no one wanted to let me be part of the party, which is typical of my family. But whatever.
Whatever.
But the thing is, JC had mentioned, because Grandma had that placard on the front of her car, you know.
Oh.
And it had the Eastern Star was.
It's a pinnacle.
I didn't know what the Eastern Star was at the time. I didn't know.
It's a pinnacle, a rainbow pinnacle.
This is how I learned what the Eastern Star was.
And the thing is, it's like the star was upside down and goes, looks like a goat's head. I'm like, sure does.
Sure does. Yep.
What did Jesus do?
I was like, Tom, why is your grandma driving around in the Satan mobile? And then she
because you came over too much and you rubbed off on her your demon ways.
Well, I did not rub off on your grandma.
You know that JC, he's the devil.
The devil. Okay, so there are four families. There are four families that are tied to this Order of the Golden Dawn. That's the Kennedys, and the Onassis, absolutely. The Collinses and the Van Duns. They all those four families framed the universities that exist today because they're real to the Order of the Golden Dawn.
The Van Duns, and how's that spelled? VAN space
DUYN.
It's probably
that might be Van Dyne.
Van Dyne. Okay, what is happening? Van Dyne. That could be. Okay, so golly, the Reptilian Council, which is David
those guys
Icke.
Again, those little rascals.
This is David Icke lore. You know David Icke?
Not personally.
Bruce Lee.
But four families, Morgans, the Van Dynes, and the Rothschild Rockefellers are all connected to the Reptilian Council. The Anunnaki Council is the Rothschilds, the Rocket. See, and it's like, and that's ancient astronaut lore is what the Anunnaki Council is.
Right.
What else do we got here?
Are those Nephilim families in that council? Because that would make sense if they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Nephilim would be a branch off the Anunnaki.
Should be.
Because they made it with the sons of the daughters of man to make the Nephilim, and then that would make sense for the serpent people to come in there too.
Well, it brought up Epstein.
Of course, I told you.
I was reading that.
I told you these things are all the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. there's nothing tying him. There's nothing out there tying him to anyone. However, knowing now what he did, how he practiced, what he practiced, okay, what he was connected to. I mean, talk about low man on the totem pole, but still, when we bring this dynamic of 13 families to 2026, you get Epstein.
Right.
You get
that's what
a list of other people.
All of the families and the groups into what it was, into what it is now, it goes directly into that circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If there's a way with their money, you just have to follow the money, and that would take you right to the core.
Well, because all along they've been involved with Baal or Moloch worship all along, child sacrifice, so harming children, killing children, eating children, any of that stuff that actually went on or might be going on falls right in with this entire group of long line of people.
Mm-hmm. And I think what we're seeing is people like Epstein and all these other people who were made nameless. We can say his name because it's common knowledge now.
He's public.
Right. They're like followers. They're like they're the ones on the ground. They're the ones in the public. They're the ones down here making the noise. And I think there just became so many. They're starting to give up the secrets. I think that's what's making it crumble.
Well, I think this entire internet with social media is backfiring on people that have stuff to hide.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. I question that. I agree. I originally agreed with that. They could shut this down the flip of a fucking switch.
Well, yeah.
It could be a situation to where they're like, trimming the fat. If you look at it, they're sitting up there. It's like, these people were useful at one point in time, but now not so much.
Well, I mean,
so if they let them kill each other off,
these other people.
If they flip the switch, then what would we do? But we wouldn't have anything to read or crazy stuff and speculate about.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's just another aspect of keeping us divided.
Well, yeah, because it's like they make this stuff out to be crazy.
And that's all it is. That's why
they leave a lot of that information out. That's what I was saying earlier, is how they take away the stuff they really don't want you to know, and they leave the crazy stuff. So then they go, "Oh, that guy's just saying crazy stuff."
And that's why I tell people what you are hearing is nothing, because you know why? You're hearing it.
Well, you know about Anthony Weiner's life insurance folder.
I mean, just like those videos of the kids being interviewed in the early 80s, mid 80s, something like that, telling about being at ritual with their parents and what they had to do. Okay, we won't talk about that. And it's like, I remember doing videos about that in like 2010. Like that was among my first rabbit holes I found myself go down.
Yeah.
And now it's like back again.
Well, it comes back because there's something to it.
Right. That's what I always say.
If it was crap, if these things were crap 20 years ago, they would have faded away and nobody would remember them. And
it would have been debunked and you'd had proof by now.
Yeah.
Everything that's that way. I mean, there's things that just like the Patty film. Shout out to the Bigfoot. Not debunked. Never will be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, costumes in the 60s. Look how bad they were.
Yeah.
Look how bad the costumes were in the 80s. And then they're like, oh, that's just a costume. There's no costume.
No way.
The ultimate costume in the 60s.
And now that they've cleared it up and everything and made it like
you can see
clear
the body weight shifting. And it's like that.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a lie, it eventually comes out to be the lie. It does. It may take years. It may take decades. Hell, as we're learning now, it may take hundreds of years. But if it's a lie, it will be proven to be so. That's just kind of a law of the universe kind of thing. You are what you are. A thing is what it is. No one has the power to change that. They can hide it for however long by using esoteric Order of the Golden Dawn practices.
The truth eventually comes out. That's the thing.
It will. That's right. A lie will present itself eventually. That's why I never lied in my life, because I'm not smart enough.
Well, there's no point in it. You have to remember it. You have to remember your lie, and you have to remember the story you made up about it. And then you have to have. Then you have to have.
I turn into Sheldon.
So it's stupid to lie.
Do you ever see Big Bang Theory and Sheldon having to deal with a lie? That's me. It's like I have to have a cover story back to when I was born.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, or I'm going to fuck it up.
Right.
So I just don't. I don't know. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This 13 family thing, and it's not new. I knew about this way back too, but it was like just, among the things that are just now coming back.
Well, it's all interesting because this stuff has been out forever. It's not
Yes.
like we just made it up or just came up in the last few years.
No.
It's been a long time.
A long time.
And
I think we should look into like the rituals for Baal and Moloch.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, now you're getting into.
Well, you see them all the time put effigies of Baal and Moloch around, and their symbolism in media and Hollywood.
Well, and okay, so next week we might, because next week we'll do Ring 2, which is the domains of influence that these families have had.
And what's the guy's name? JC that spied in on like one of the rituals.
Alex Jones.
He's
who? Alex Jones?
In the Bohemian ritual, he got in the Bohemian. He stuck in the Bohemian Grove in the 90s. That was the first thing that set me off on this. He snuck into the Bohemian Grove in the 90s and filmed them doing the rituals, and it was a mock child sacrifice.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Mock.
Yeah.
Mock.
That one was.
And there's a lot of.
But the theory is that's where they bring in their initiates. They come in and they see what the group's all about, and they do a mock ritual, and then the people who are really into it get to move on into the next thing.
And it's like there's a lot of Hollywood elites,
politicians,
that were all part of that.
Yeah,
politicians, celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Let
me tell you something, Jaguar Wright, and freaking what's the little dude, the funny dude? Oh, what's his name? I love him.
Kevin Hart.
I am, but not him.
Sweet Chuck.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
Sweet Chuck.
They were talking about it 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, Cat Williams has been talking about.
He was doing a tour.
Well, he won't outright say it, but you can tell what he's talking about.
It's like, y'all, I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, it's fun to talk about, and I mean, you never know what part of it's actual and what's not, but it's definitely been going on. Whatever is true about it.
Well, I would say Cat Williams' accounts, his own personal accounts, were enough to convince me. He wasn't telling stories about nobody else. He was telling stories about his own experience.
But do you remember?
Same with Jaguar Wright.
There was a short story in the news, and it's been quite a while now, but I can't remember what year or when. But there was like this model, and she looked like she might have been Spanish or something, but she came out of like a hotel or somewhere, and she was half dressed, and she was screaming about how they were eating people, and and they put her away, and you never saw her again.
You know who's back in the streams again? The lady from the airplane. That he's not a human. He's not. She's freaking back. People are going, maybe we should be listening to her. And she disappeared.
Well, she made a video trying to explain what she was saying it for, but then that's the last I heard of her.
And I have not seen that video, but I've heard that video is obviously contrived by how she presented it.
It kind of seemed like it.
I haven't seen it though, so I can't judge that myself. So next week we'll talk about how these families influence finance, energy, and industry, politics, media, culture, occult knowledge, global trade, and intelligence networks.
Like guess who?
It's it is insane. And it's like, you wonder. Here's another thing I want to know. I don't know. Well, you mentioned it earlier, I think, JC, about like Rothschild wasn't the original name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wendy in Versailles today.
Hey, we're full of ice. When I looked outside, everything was covered in ice.
We had snow pellets, not snowflakes, but snow pellets.
Grapple, yeah. So it's coming down.
I guess up in Kansas City and Prairie Village, 71st and Row, I guess the wind blew so hard, knocked over a tree, blocked the street.
I heard it blew so hard to knock my sister down.
Nice,
it was pretty windy. I don't know. I spent the day with Mom today. We have Mom on Saturday and Sunday, so
yeah.
Spent the day with Mom. Took her to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Heck yeah.
Took her to the store.
That place is finger licking good.
It was finger licking good. Took her to the store.
They had the Kentucky Fried Chicken we have around here in Eldon closed down, and then they put a Taco Bell. It was a KFC Taco Bell.
Right.
And then it completely shut down. They got rid of the KFC and they brought back Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I'm having a hankering. I need either like a Taco Bell, or not Taco Bell, but KFC. Or Popeyes. Yeah. Popeyes would be Popeyes.
We have Go Chicken Go all the time.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, Go Chicken Go. The chicken.
Get a pound of livers. Oh.
I don't want no livers. I want gizzards.
Too hard to chew. I don't got enough teeth. All right. Say goodbye.
No.
I don't want to go.
You're not my fault.
See you next week. Hopefully.
Have a good one, folks. Tune in
and subscribe and check out our Facebook pages that have been scrolling on the bottom.
Right down there.
Share with your friends.
Right there. And it's going. And it's going. Like,
share with your friends.
Peaceful gifts.
See you later.
Bye.